Hello everybody, and just here and welcome back to Kono Sekai wa Fukanzen Sugiru, episode 5. Episode 5 that seems to have been a part of like a double release from what I've seen. If you didn't know, I left like a post on YouTube and a message on my Discord. I was out for the weekend, I was visiting some family, and on Friday, as this one was coming out, I had to leave for the journey, and I thought that when I'm back, I'm gonna have a single episode to make up for. But apparently on the 9th, which it was, well, Friday for me, episodes 5 and 6 have been released, which is odd, to say the least. Like, I know that there... Was there a break during the Olympics? Like, many shows I know had like a week-long break. I'm not sure if this one did. Why 2 episodes at the same time? I don't know. If you know maybe why that happened, let me know in the comments. Or maybe I got some faulty source and episode 6 is actually a leak. I heard that a lot of stuff was leaked from Crunchyroll. Or maybe it's like, I don't know, maybe it's not an episode 6 at all, or whatever. Like, what matters is that I have 2 episodes to make up for, apparently, but let's stop talking about that, right? Let's focus on what's in front of us, and what's in front of us is episode 5. That was a ramble. What happened in the previous episode? Because that will lead us into this one. In the previous episode, Haga and Nikola dealt with the glitched village. They listed all of those errors, right? All the people T-posing, all the cats T-posing, and all the other things that were issues there. Took note of it and sent it via the tablet to the developers. And on the next day, or soon after that, those issues were fixed. Which is very interesting to me, because it tells me that there is a team of developers probably working still on this game, and if so, then why can't they free Haga and the others, right? My running theory was that maybe, you know, something happened in the like real world, right? Maybe, I don't know, a nuclear war started, and them being in a strapped to their chairs in some basement running on fusion reactors or whatever, they are still safe and sound, last remaining humans in the world, or something along those lines. Yeah, or that maybe the company shut down, and some thingamajig with the brain computer interface just put them in the game, and they are permanently there. They're brain dead in real life, but their consciousness has been transferred to the game, or magically transferred into this world, like in Overlord or something like that. But apparently there still exists a team actively working on the game. That's, of course, the first theory. Another one would be that it could perhaps be an AI. Maybe if not Tesla, probably not Tesla, but maybe some other of the AIs working on the game who does the fixes. Maybe, entirely plausible. Someone is working on it though, someone is fixing those errors. Which, I mean, it's weird that it's able to fix those errors, but it's not able to fix the error with them not being able to log out. Unless it does not count for an error. That's a thought. So they fixed all that stuff, and they have a like a wanted letter after them, and one of the villagers, one of the NPCs, noticed them and tipped them off to Shacho and Sumida, and you know, the Sumida is still falling through the through the no clip area, but yeah, those people, right, tipped them off. But before that, I think we met new characters, multiple, plural. We met Isora Amano, the dog man, and we met an NPC girl who's evaluating stories. That's like a recurring side quest thing. Amano was a part of the band of rogue QA testers, but he decided to leave, right? It wasn't agreeing with his conscience, so he left his debugging tablet behind and found solace in this bugged, glitched village where he would draw some manga and show it to the girl NPC, and she would have fun with it, and she would praise him, and she would boost his, self worth and stuff like that, which was a nice relationship between the two of them, for sure. Then the band of rogue testers was tipped off by one of the NPCs, and they arrived to the village riding a dragon, stomping their way around, stomping down all the buildings and houses and everything. Haga, Nikola, and Izora were in the basement where Izora had his workshop, talking about stuff, talking about, QA testing and where to go from there, and do you want to leave this world, and, stuff like that. And the girl was not so lucky. She was up top, and she was unfortunately crushed. And the one good thing that came of it is that the rogue testers are probably convinced now that Haga, Nikola, and Izora, if they did know that Izora was there even in the first place, are probably dead. So chances are they're not going to be actively seeking them out. So, that's going to give us some leeway, perhaps. The bad thing is, of course, that the NPC girl died in quite a gruesome way, might I add. That set Izora on a path for vengeance, right? It gave him a nice bit of a kick, of a boost, right? Where he decided that he's not gonna just sit there on his ass drawing manga. He needs to fucking do something about it. We also got another tidbit of lore, so to speak, and that is apparently, according to Tesla, NPCs cannot be resurrected. NPCs don't come back. Like, NPCs die just once and that's it, which is odd because Nikola died multiple times and did come back, right? In the very first episode, which, I don't know, maybe there are like different kinds of NPCs. Some of them are unique, some of them aren't unique, and Nikola was not unique, right? She was one of the villagers, so she just gets a copy. Meanwhile, the girl with the quest was unique, and so she does not get a copy. Or maybe it was said on more of a metaphysical level, right? Like, she will respawn, but it will not be her. She will not have her memories, which again stands opposed to what happened with Nikola, because she did have the memories, partial memories of what happened, right? She remembered Haga, she remembered her goal of going with Haga, stuff like that. So all of that was not erased when she respawned, so what gives, right? What's going on there with the NPCs? Perhaps we're gonna learn more about it in the future. We'll see. But right now, it seems like we are headed towards a journey somewhere, perhaps to meet the final member of the party. Although with meeting Izora right now, I think it will be like another 2 or 3 episodes until we meet another member of the party, right? And yeah, we're just gonna travel, we're just gonna do some more QA testing with another QA tester in team right now, maybe actively seeking out the rogue testers, maybe actively seeking out the glitches. I mean, that is practically a given, seeing Haga is de facto leader of the team. I don't know, a plethora of adventures for sure is awaiting us. And I think that's about it. That's about what I expect from today's episode. A brand new adventure, right? A brand new arc, essentially, like a mini arc, so to speak. And what will it bring us? I don't know. Hard to tell. So how about we just watch it and see, right? Shall we? To do it, you'll need your subs, of course, to follow along with me. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. And I'm gonna have to ask you for support. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon, YouTube down below, or not. Share my content, spread the word. It costs you nothing and helps a lot. And with that, we can start watching episode 5 of QA Sekai in 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, let me turn down the volume in preparation for this. Even volume turned like all the way down, it's still loud. Right, Lusan was her name. My chair is super squeaky. Oh, they're even showing that entire scene in the recap. Yep. True. We gotta get a plan, we gotta find some trick. Right, he's not a dog, he's a cat, isn't he? Apparently. Your goals are aligned, so might as well go together, right? I wonder if it's a case of if you die in the game, you die in real life for them, or do you just get booted out of the system? Right. What I was about to say is that if they just get booted out of the system when they die in the game, why not just use that to escape? But they probably are not sure either, are they? Right? They're just as unsure as I am whether it's an SAO scenario or a, I don't know, Shangri-La you just resurrect, so... Actually, maybe if you die you just resurrect, so not an escape either. I don't think I would be willing to experiment with my life, hoping that it's gonna boot me out of the system or hoping that I'm gonna resurrect. That was a bit in Log Horizon, wasn't it? Right? Only when the first person died accidentally and was resurrected, then the people were like, you know, more relaxed about it. Them some empty eyes, eh? Yeah. And lo and behold, they raised the exact same question I had. Yeah, probably. Did you take it off her corpse? Oh, no. That's good. And life is back in his eyes. Hmm. Okay, the NPCs are rebuilding already. Interesting that the buildings don't just respawn. The NPCs have to actually rebuild them. That's very cheerful for the goal being vengeance. At least they're leaving very good tracks. Of course. A lot. Yeah. Okay, so at least we're gonna travel a little bit more fast. A little bit faster. The castle is quite far, isn't it? Going through the mountains, through some rocky canyons. Already here? Here I thought that the attack on the castle and getting rid of them would be like, you know, the goal of the season, right? Like something for the finale. But it turns out it's gonna be a little earlier that we get to that point. Yeah, I don't think it works that way. I think Tesla shows up when she wants to. Yeah. You summon her with food, apparently. Yep. Okay. Right. That was established already. Nothing. She can just guide you, and that's about the extent of it. Yeah. She's just a quest giver, not a companion. Oh, so that's not the castle yet. That's just some watchtower. I mean, worth a shot. I expected someone to be inside. No, it's been unused for quite some time, it seems. I thought maybe this is where we are gonna meet the last member of the party. Damn, it's a nice looking castle. Right, they probably ripped off the entire chunk, yeah. So I guess what? You can only fly out? That's NPCs. Oh, we've seen those monsters in the opening. Right, there is that thing where the game will attack you when you start killing NPCs willy-nilly, right? Not gonna work though, yeah. Is there perchance a helpful MacGuffin inside of this tower? It's a crate. I'm guessing not just a usual crate. A flying mount? Something? Oh, are you doing the Zelda thing where you punch something and give it momentum and then you unfreeze it and it just fucking flies? Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. Yep. He gave it some momentum and then waiting for the physics to calculate and catch up. Or just use the lid. I guess that also works. So we're just going without a plan. Yep. That's great. So we're doing any percent. It's not gonna be glitchless. The invisibility ran out though. And you don't have invincibility. So I guess a sliding stop is fine as well. Just get a healing potion. Could say that, yeah. I mean, yeah, you never know when a glitch is gonna, cut your HP in half for whatever reason. If you played on Minecraft Bedrock, then you would know. Of course. Oh? It's still loading, I assume. Right, they triggered something. Oh? Why would the main quest involve seekers? Fair. You can get deeper, probably like more downwards as well into the dungeons. Hmm. And of course, they get notified about it. So, how are we gonna deal with that situation? Huh? Oh, separate instance. Okay. That's great. Yep. They can infiltrate the castle to their heart's content and not meet the people from the other instance. Both, yes. And one can help you with the other, yeah. True. Not to mention, pretty much the only way you can defeat someone who has the backstone is by using glitches, like no clipping them through the wall, like what happened to Sumida, right? Part of the quest, I assume, giving you an escape route. Yeah, probably a good idea. Some conflict from within. Some conflict from within. How expected. Not a fun world to be in, after all, is it? Escape the castle, right? Not gonna check the crate for stuff that might help you in battle. Why is the guard not here then? That's a nice mace. Is that where she's gonna find the magic skull? Yeah, I mean, there are certain games that do use it as a weapon. Uh, yeah, I guess it's a bit of an Easter egg. That's a lot more. Or just some game designer that thought he's gonna be funny. True. I mean, that's a fair concern. She's a flight controller. Is that gonna trigger fight? That does not look like a guard. That looks like a monster. Yeah. It's English. Good English. Apparently. uh, that's great. Also, why is he fighting with spiky tongs? I wonder how are they gonna handle it in the dub. Is he gonna speak Japanese in the dub? Probably. Oh, well, that's the episode. Is that why 5 and 6 released together as a like a two-parter thing? Maybe. I'm glad that glitches and bugs and whatchamacallit, Easter eggs and stuff like that are still like a firm part of the story here. I was kind of afraid that it's gonna go more in the direction of like a regular, normal, classic fantasy story with revenge and trying to find the people who killed their loved one and stuff like that. But no, this story does not forget its roots, and I can appreciate that. It's 13 episodes long. I wonder when are we gonna meet the sword elf. Okay, nothing after credits. So, let us watch it again, shall we? Yes, we shall, as we always do. Habamko Kodansha recap. That's a lot of like tonal shifts I noticed in this episode, from like a very serious moment to a like half comedic little chomp, and then a nice change of his demeanor after getting the beads, the necklace. I gotta say though, I actually like how much time is spent here handling Lou's death. right? Like, I basically expected them to just kind of gloss over it. That's usually how it happens when a character is like just created for the sake of being sacrificed for the sake of story, right? Giving someone, I don't know, giving a random person a sister for only for that sister to die so that that someone can set off on an adventure, right? Basically just a plot device. They usually just get over it very quickly, right? She died, the character is like, oh, I'm gonna avenge you, grabs a sword, grabs his father's helmet, and sets off to adventure, right? That's often how it goes. Not so much this time around. We actually stay a little bit around Lou's death, trying to handle it, or at least seeing Izora try to handle it, Nikola being helpful in that. Cool. I like how they dealt with it. Another bit of tonal shift though, right? Like he was so despaired over her death, and so like, oh, revenge kill, and now it's just, you know, adventure. A little bit of a tonal shift. Not something super big, but still worth noting, right? Okay then, Bayle Castle, here we come! To adventure, that's where treasure awaits! It basically has this sort of a tone rather than the, you know, revenge, right? Kinda a little bit of a, I don't know, mismatch. Ah. And we're back to comedy. Bunch of ideas, 9 including the bows. They're all Morons, so it will be fine. We'll see about that. I'll do anything. Always the folks who can't do squat who shout, I'll do anything. I wonder if that's gonna be a part of Nikola's character arc. Oh, that's a bottle of root beer. Or, well, empty bottle where root beer used to be. Never had root beer before. I got it like, what was it, a week-ish ago. Got my first root beer, and I'm a fan. If it was any cheaper in Poland, I'd probably drink it on the daily, but it ain't cheap, unfortunately. QA Sekai. There we go. Nikola struggles with being useless, finding her use is her character arc. That will probably be culminated with her getting the magic skull. Yeah, right now she's just a speaker for Tesla, basically. As to get the backstones, I'll eat them, and besides that, she can't really do much. She just appears, tells them what they can do, and that's about it. Yeah, they did quite a bit of altering here. I don't know if the palace was floating before, or is it a new development, but the bridge is broken, that's for sure. You've knocked out the bridge. Something moving at the bottom. Monsters. Oh, I thought he mentioned here the name of those monsters, but no, those are just the guards. Which, interesting thought. It's a bug, isn't it? It's a bug that players who should be hunted down by the guards and ideally defeated by those guards are not. Haga should report it. Maybe it will be fixed. Right? That would be a very easy way to deal with this whole entire situation, right? Send a bug report, the developers or AI or whoever sees that, you know, yeah, actually the guards should be able to, should be invincible, should be dealing like 90% of enemy HP damage in a single swing, or just 100%, right, insta-kill. Why not? Right? They are here as a detriment. They are here to stop the players from doing bad things in a lore friendly manner. So might as well, and have them spawn just in front of the player, behind the player, wherever. Right? It's entirely plausible that they could potentially fix those guards that way, and that would solve this problem very easily. Operation kill all the townspeople and see what happens after, right? Guards came to arrest them, but the guards are apparently useless in this game. I wonder if they are useless in general, or are they only useless against someone who has access to the bagstone? I don't know. That remains to be seen. Use the bug mode? No. Instead, we're gonna use some nice glitches. Yeah, gonna punch the chest and then just launch themselves. Did he do anything to trigger it? No, I don't think so. I was expecting, like, I don't know, a final kick to, like, overfill the bar so it explodes or something like that. But I guess it's more just timed. Bug in a physics engine, yep. Builds energy in the direction you hit and then eventually explodes. It was not a bug, but a mechanic in one of the new Zeldas. Can't remember if it was... No, I think it was in the first of the Switch Zeldas. It was in Tears of the Kingdom, was it? Tears of the Kingdom is the second one. Fuck, can't remember the name of the first one. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know what I'm talking about, though, right? Where you can essentially just get a physics object, freeze it with like a freeze object tool, then smack it with a hammer or whatever a couple of times. It builds momentum. You jump on top, you unfreeze the object, and you fly. It's like an actual mechanic in that game. And where else have I seen something similar? I think one of the Elden Ring speedruns involves getting a lot of momentum for your player by like running into the wall or something, and then you clip below the map and you get flung straight into the final boss arena, something like that. Another example, No Man's Sky. I'm not sure if it was fixed or not, but a tech for fast movement was punch and then immediately turn on the jetpack, and the force of that punch, the momentum of the punch, would carry you faster flying the jetpack. And final example, Zoran coptering in Warframe. Who even remembers Zoran copters in Warframe? Zoran coptering was basically when you had a weapon that has very fast attack speed, and dual Zoran, where the technique gets its name from, had very fast attack speed, and you... What was the sequence? Jump, slide, melee attack, and that melee attack would propel you forward during that like mid-air slide. That was the technique. Eventually they got rid of it, but instead introduced bullet jumping, which is slightly slower but gives you a little bit more technique and allows you to use any melee weapon, not just dual Zorans, because they had like 80-something% of usage back then just for the mobility. So it's not uncommon for stuff like that to be present in games. Glitch. Why are they getting invisible right now? I guess so that they don't get seen by the Rogue testers, which makes sense because they're not inside of a unique instance yet, so they should avoid being seen. Yeah, okay, sure, makes sense. Watchtower. Several hills surrounding Bayle Castle have towers called Dragon Eyes built on top of them. Many of these towers face west, where there is nothing but open sea. The reason for this is unknown, probably looking out for invasion from the sea. their like equivalent of Vikings, or maybe drowners, or some sea monsters, or something like that. Maybe Gojira. Martial artist. That is not Haga's class, is it? Or is it? It's not, because Haga uses those daggers and not his fists. A warrior who uses their fists as weapons can break rocks by concentrating and unleashing a powerful strike. So he's Minecraft Steve. Sliding stop. And yeah. Really slows the game, buying time to load the castle map. Yep, it's like the... when was it? When did it start appearing? In the like 2010s, I think. There was a whole slew of games that pretty much all of them used that like slim little tiny crevice that your character has to like shimmy through on the side, right? What had it? Fuck, I forgot the name of it. The one fantasy game by spiders, I think. The one where you were like a colonizer, some island, and your mother and your sister or brother had like a wooden illness. Fuck, what was the name of it? Can't remember. But yeah, that had those like cracks in the walls. Plenty of Tomb Raiders. Other games of this sort also had that. Why? Map loading, basically. The character movement speed was slowed down appropriately to give the time for the area to load, or that crevice would be lengthened as needed, or just infinite, and then it would eventually end when the map loads. Stuff like that. Again, very common thing to use here. Kind of ingenious, actually, for a pat down to allow for the buffering of the new map. Usually it's some sort of like passage, maybe you're waiting for some mechanism on the doors to unlock or something like that. I like this idea with the pat down. And yeah, I'm assuming this is the moment when they entered a unique instance. King Bayle has ordered us to arrest all seekers as they bring disaster. Seekers is the term for QA testers, isn't it? It's not a catch-all term for all players, is it? I don't think so, at least. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was term just used in regard to QA testers, giving them like special access to places and allowing like making NPCs not bother them, right? Or maybe it's just a term for players. I don't know. If it's the former, then it doesn't make much sense that they would like arrest all of Seekers, specifically it being a part of a main quest. It would make sense if those NPCs got like custom orders from the rogue testers, right? But not in the context of a main quest. If it's just a term used for players, then sure, whatever, makes perfect sense. We just started the main quest, apparently. And yeah, Nikola is of course panicking. No surprise there. Meanwhile, Haga and Izora, or Amano, I think how they refer to him, are perfectly calm because, they know that nothing really is gonna befall them, nothing bad. They need to continue the quest after all, so of course nothing's gonna happen to them. Main quest, the Mad King. Your debug tablet is also your like UI. I thought it was like strictly for debugging, but apparently not. Do all the players get a tablet like that, and it's just the debug tablets are special in that they also have debugging ability? Maybe. Escape your cell. Very nice bit of tension, I gotta say. Very nice way to introduce tension. And seeing them just sitting here completely oblivious and seeing him just walking slowly towards them, seemingly almost salivating at the prospect of tearing them limb from limb, and then the big reveal that he was just going after a vampire and they are in a completely separate instance. I like it. This is actually like really, really well done. Super cool. Yeah, separate instances. Yeah, very well done, genuinely. I really was just raking my brain for how are they gonna get out of this situation? How the fuck are they gonna do it? Right? They're imprisoned, they're in a cell. This dude, Sekai, is using the debug tablet. They're not gonna stand a chance. What kind of bullshit are they gonna have to pull? Yeah, no, turns out it was not the thing at all. Good, very good. Scouting and debugging, both actually. Finding out any sort of bugs and glitches around will be very beneficial. You might find like secret passage straight into the throne room. You might find a wall that doesn't have collisions so that you could use it to throw someone out of the map. You could maybe find like an insta-death trap and maybe trap someone in the loop of like constant resurrection, right? Like one of Haga's friends, right? There are ways. Those are the only ways that you could potentially, possibly defeat a person with a debug tablet. So, right? It's gonna be useful knowledge. I'm actually thinking about any other ways of defeating a person with a debug tablet, and besides defeating them with a glitch, I don't think there's any way that would be like surefire and certain. Because if you take away their tablet and kill them, like stab them in the chest or whatever, maybe they're gonna revive. Maybe with a brand new tablet. Who knows? Maybe without it, that would be preferable, but you don't really know that. So it's not a surefire way to deal with them. Could you perhaps kill them from an ambush before they can trigger invincibility? I don't know. I would say that they have no reason to not be invincible at all times. So they probably already have invincibility on them. So we gotta have to steal the tablet first and then handle them somehow. A regular way of dealing with them being knife to chest. Debatable whether it's gonna be, whether it's gonna work or not. Getting rid of them through a glitch, probably how it has to be done. So debugging the area, very useful. We're just not coming together. Been a while since we went dragon hunting. Use our leadership skills to bring us all together. Sick of sucking up to him like this. Gets annoyed when we come to him, but he also bitches if we do anything ourselves. Why are you sticking around then? Right? Like, why? Just escape? Just go? What's keeping you here? You have the bug tablets as well. You can be invincible if you want. He's not gonna do shit to you. So why are you still here? Just to suffer? I don't know. Maybe some sort of a... whatchamacallit? I forgot the name of the thing where the kidnapped person gets, like, endeared towards their captor. Yeah, forgot that. But you know what I mean there. Fuck, had it. But I lost it again. Stockholm Syndrome. Yeah, Stockholm Syndrome. Maybe that, maybe he has something on them. I don't know. Interestingly, he's also not very happy in this world either. Right? He can't even get drunk of the booze here. And he very much seems like someone depressed, dare I say. Right? Trying to find some sort of stimuli, trying to fight the boredom by going towards more and more extreme means, right? Having some fun dissecting a vampire, but he dissected 50 vampires, it no longer does anything to him. Time to start playing human darts, but after he's been playing human darts for a month, well, that's also gonna get stale. He's gonna go to impale some NPCs, but how long can you do that until it stops being fun? right? That's his issue, and I wonder if it can be exploited somehow to defeat him. Potentially, possibly, maybe. I thought I paused recording. No, it works. Getting was a breeze, yeah. Now's not the time for debugging. Now is the time for debugging. Now is exactly the time for debugging. This is... this is great. I love it. I love this, like, whole entire final sequence. I legitimately thought she's gonna find the magic skull here. But no, it's a magic dildo. It's a magic rod, as she said. Torture implement, they can't use it in the Japanese version. Or at least, you know, they can blur it and, and use it that way. And there's a lot of them. Rating issue, not a bug. Was the game planned to be higher rated and then they changed their mind? Was it supposed to not launch in Japan initially and then they changed the plan? Or is it just a work of some developers just having fun, right? The game's in beta, might as well just model some of those and throw them in the game. Why not? Just for fun. I mean, at least Nikola is having fun. That doesn't look like a gourd. Yeah, that's a monster. And the monster has a very good English dubbing. It really surprised me. Initially, I thought that it might be just very, like, muffled Japanese, right? That is barely recognizable. Then I thought, oh, maybe some fantasy language or something. No, it's just straight up fucking English. I'm so not used to hearing good English in anime that I would rather assume it's a fantasy language than English. This is amazing. Yeah, no Japanese dialogue, inappropriate language, just fucking random voice lines. Amazing. Yeah, I love it. I love this bit. And he fights with tongs on a chain, like, why not? I mean, it's clear that some developer was having a lot of fun building this dungeon, just putting in random dildos, giving this dude some random and heavily, like, inappropriate voice lines, giving him fun weapons to use. He's supposed to be the guard. Well, fuck it, let's just use an undead monster, why don't we? Maybe it's a placeholder, maybe it actually is some developer having a lot of fun. I don't know, but I just love the sheer, like, weirdness of it. But at the same time, I mean, plenty examples of games doing this sort of thing, right? Plenty examples of even like child games, right? Like learn to count with Mr. Cat, and then in the files you have like sex tape of the main developer hidden encoded in base 64 or something like that. It happens way too often, really. There's that great channel on YouTube. Fuck, forgot the name of it. Odd Header. Yeah, Odd Header. That covers stuff like that, right? Like 10 most inappropriate secrets found in games or stuff like that. I can recommend it. It doesn't post often, but I really do enjoy those videos. And yeah, it's really not out of the ordinary for a developer to hide something like that in a game. Then again, it's part of a main quest, so it's not exactly hidden, is it? And yeah, the next is gonna be there in the next episode. And episode 7 is gonna air in 4 days, so before 4 days are up, I'm gonna have to record episode 6 as well. This one though, very good. I mean, some minor criticism, right? A little bit of tonal shift, that is like, you know, take it or leave it. It's like whatever, but noticeable. But besides that, yeah, I enjoyed it. I really like how true this show remains to its initial premise of bugs and glitches and QA testing. They didn't just, throw it away. They didn't just relegate the, QA testing stuff to happening every so often, right? None of that. No, it's like a main integral part of the story, and I can really appreciate it. I've seen stories with a gimmick very often just lose that gimmick sooner or later, most often sooner, and then they just become a copycat of any other series with a gimmick that lost its gimmick. And I'm glad I cannot count this one among those series. It's surprising that we made it to the castle so quickly. I really thought that it's gonna be some big finale when we get to the castle, when we start fighting with those other QA testers, and then the final episode is that final clash between Haga and Shacho, maybe supported with Sekai, right? And that's how the season ends. But this is episode. I wanted to look on my watch to check which episode it is. Great. This is episode 5, and we're already here. So by episode, probably not 6, but by episode 7, I would assume the infiltration is done, and this arc is closed. How's it gonna be closed? I don't know. With the defeat of all of those rook testers? I find it hard to believe. What I find easier to believe is that they might get rid of like a couple of them, and then maybe fix the castle somehow, right? Like set it back on the ground and just fix the area in general, and the rest of the rook testers will be on the run. And now we're gonna have to go out into the world and find them. And maybe the finale of this show, the finale of this season, is actually another clash with the rook testers. Sure, I find that plausible. Another possibility is that there are more groups of rook testers, right? I mean, it stands to reason that there would be. So maybe we will defeat all of them by episode 7, and the rest is gonna be looking for other testers, right? Tesla's gonna tell us, you know what, there's actually more. Those weren't the only ones. I never said those are the only ones. There's like plenty more, and the journey continues. Maybe. I don't know how it's gonna go. We'll see in the future, in the near future, because I'm gonna have to watch episode 6 very, very soon. But right now, I'd say that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, how did you guys like this episode, my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? Say so in the comments down below. No spoilers, please. As usual, like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only QA testing, but also Vistoria, Bye Bye Earth, Spice and Wolf, plenty others coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do go live sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon down below, where for $10 a month you get early access to non-seasonal shows, and for just $1 you get a role on the Discord and a place in the credits. You can also support me directly on YouTube through super chats, super thanks, memberships, stuff like that. And if you don't want to spend any money whatsoever, you don't have to share my content, spread the word. It costs absolutely nothing and helps the channel a lot. And now, with all of that out of the way, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my one for Patreons: QB without an Edzer, Rene, Yukiala, Chibi Bro, Dr. Otaka, Master Marsh, Fastel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want without having to jump on any chests,